It is 2:13 a.m. You are sitting cold on the hard kitchen floor of your tiny rundown apartment. The floor is sticky, the walls are thin, and you can hear distant traffic rumbling outside, like a constant reminder of the life you cannot reach. Your phone screen is cracked down the middle, the glass sharp enough to nick your finger every time you swipe it open. You tap your banking app, and the number stares back at you, cold and unforgiving. $37. That is all you have to your name. Rent is due in 5 days. No exceptions. No extensions. The landlord does not care if you are tired, if you are stressed, if you worked 60 hours this week and still have nothing to show for it. If the money is not in his account on time, you are out on the street. Your credit card minimum payment is already late, stacking up fees and interest that keep growing like a weed you can never kill. Your fridge is practically empty. 2 expired eggs, 1 loaf of cheap white bread, and half a bottle of generic sauce that tastes like nothing at all. That is your food for the next week, if you stretch it thin enough. Tomorrow you have to clock in for a 10-hour shift at your dead-end, low-wage job. The work is exhausting, repetitive, and unappreciated. You sweat, you grind, you follow every order without complaint, and at the end of every month, you are still right back here, stressed. One emergency away from total collapse. Most people look at your life and say the same simple thing. You are poor because you do not have enough money. They think poverty is just empty pockets. But that is the biggest lie keeping you trapped. Everyone thinks poverty begins when your pockets are empty. But the real trap begins when your mind starts asking for less. Empty pockets hurt, but they are temporary. You can work extra shifts, pick up side gigs, and scrape together cash to cover a bill. But an empty mind, that is permanent poverty. Right now, you do not just lack money, you lack vision. Poverty has trained your brain to only survive the day, only make it to the next paycheck, only avoid the next disaster. You do not plan for next year. You do not plan for 5 years from now. You do not dare to imagine a life where rent is not a monthly death sentence. Poverty does not just take your cash. It shrinks your dreams, lowers your standards, and makes you accept a life that was never meant to be lived this small. Tonight, sitting on that cold floor, you have a choice you did not know existed. You can either keep living paycheck to paycheck, keep letting poverty shrink your mind, keep repeating the same broken cycle forever, or you can stand up, walk through 3 brutal doors, and escape the poverty system for good. This is not motivation. This is survival. If it were you, with $37 left and 5 days before rent, would you still dare to think bigger? Or would you let poverty shrink your mind until survival becomes your only dream? Option A, focus only on getting through the month. Forget big dreams and take no risks. Option B, accept the short-term pain and start planning a long-term way out even when you are broke. What would you do? The first brutal trial to escape poverty is not working harder. It is fixing your mindset. Not the fake positive mindset you see online. No empty affirmations. No believe and receives nonsense. This is raw, realistic, brutal mindset resetting. Right now, you do not think like a person who wants to escape poverty. You think like a person who has already accepted it. Every single day, you repeat sentences that lock you in place without you even realizing it. You say, I cannot afford that. People like me do not get good opportunities. I just need to survive this month. Those words sound humble. They sound realistic. But they are actually poison. Every time you say them, you carve the word poor deeper into your identity. You do not fail because you do not have money. You stay poor because you start defining yourself as someone who can never have more. Poverty is not just having no money. Poverty is being trained to expect nothing. You have been taught to lower your expectations so you never get disappointed. You stop hoping for better because a better life feels too far away. You stop chasing more because chasing more feels too risky. But here is the cruel truth. If you only aim to survive, you will only ever survive. You will never thrive. You will never escape. This first door hurts more than any hard job. It requires you to admit something painful. Your biggest problem is not your low salary, not your expensive rent, not your bad luck. Your biggest problem is your small thinking. You have to stop seeing yourself as a poor person and start seeing yourself as a person who is temporarily poor. There is a massive difference between those two things. When you are temporarily poor, you do not give up on the future. You do not shrink your dreams. You ask one new question every single day instead of complaining about what you do not have. What can I become if I stop thinking like someone who has already lost? You start looking at successful people, not with jealousy, but with curiosity. You start studying what they know, what skills they built, what choices they made. You do not envy their money. You copy their mindset. People around you will laugh at you. They will tell you to stay realistic, to stop dreaming, to focus on the present. That is not love. That is poverty spreading to you. They do not want you to succeed because success would force them to face their own small choices. You have to ignore the noise. You have to choose a 3 to 5 year target, not a 3-day survival plan. From surviving the day to designing a way out. That is the first mindset. Shift. Option A, you keep your dreams small, because small dreams hurt less when they fail. Option B, you choose one bigger target and accept the pain of becoming someone new. What would you do? Once your mind stops begging for less, you hit the second brutal trial strategy. For your whole life, you have been told one simple lie. Work hard, and you will get ahead. You believed it. You worked overtime. You took extra shifts. You never skipped a day. You never complained, and you were still poor. Now you have to face the hardest truth of your entire life. Hard work without direction is just slow self-destruction. The world does not pay people for suffering. It does not pay people for being tired. It does not pay people for working long hours. The world does not pay the person who suffers the most. It pays the person who solves a problem others cannot ignore. Poor people are taught to sell time for money. Rich people and stable, successful people are taught to sell value, build leverage, and take strategic positions. Right now, you are stuck on the edge of the system. You do replaceable work. You handle basic tasks anyone can learn in a week. You only follow orders instead of creating tangible results. That is why you can never get a raise. That is why you are always one firing away from ruin. Strategy is not betrayal. Strategy is not manipulating people. Strategy is refusing to stay blind inside a game that was already playing you. To escape poverty, you must master 4 non-negotiable strategic rules they never teach you in school or at home. First, valuable skill. Not a hobby, not a basic task, not something everyone can do. A valuable skill is something rare, in demand, and hard to replace. Something that solves real pain for other people or businesses. Second, strategic position. Stop working dead-end-edge jobs. Move closer to the core of any business, closer to revenue, closer to decision-making, closer to where real value is created. Third, social leverage. Not fake friends, not social media followers. Real leverage is having people trust you, rely on you, recommend you, and teach you the hidden survival rules. Fourth, emotional control. Poverty makes you impulsive. It makes you quit when you're humiliated, lash out when you are disrespected, and give up when things get hard. But emotional control is your cheapest and most powerful superpower. You do not win with anger. You win with patience. You learn the rules so they stop using you, not so you can start using people weaker than you. You do not have to become cold to win. You just have to become clear. You do not escape poverty by becoming cruel. You escape by becoming clear. If it were you, would you keep working harder at the edge of the system, or would you learn where the real value is created, even if it means admitting your old effort was wasted? What would you do? You fix your mind. You learn the strategy. Now you face the third and most painful trial of all your money habits. Mindset feels inspiring. Strategy feels powerful. But money habits feel humiliating, boring, and brutally uncomfortable. This is where most people fail. This is where the real poverty escape is won or lost. You do not escape poverty with one lucky payment. You escape it when every dollar finally has a direction. Right now, your money has no direction. It comes in, and it leaks out immediately. Not because you splurge on big items or luxury goods. Poverty worsens slowly from tiny, mindless, unconscious money leaks. Small subscription fees, cheap fast food, impulse buys for temporary comfort, quick fixes for momentary pain. Poverty gets worse when your money leaves quietly. The first habit trial. Stop bleeding money. You have to write down every single cent you spend. No exceptions. You will be shocked. You will see that your poverty is not only low income, it is constant tiny waste. Money you earn through sweat, thrown away for nothing that lasts. The second habit trial, destroy bad debt. Credit card minimums, buy now, pay later loans for clothes and phones and status. Bad debt is not just money you owe. It is tomorrow being dragged into today, and beaten until it cannot breathe. The third habit trial is the hardest. Buy skills before comfort. After a 10-hour exhausting shift, you deserve comfort. You want nice food, a better phone, something to make the pain go away for one night. That is normal. But that is the trap. Your first real investment may not be a stock. It may be a certificate, a tool, a laptop, or one skill that gets you closer to the door. You have to choose short-term pain over temporary pleasure. You have to invest in your income ceiling before you invest in your temporary comfort. The fourth habit trial: make money reproduce. Build a tiny emergency fund first, no matter how small. Stop living paycheck to paycheck. Let every extra dollar go to skills, tools, savings, and growth, not entertainment, not status, not instant gratification. Over 5 years, these small habits compound harder than any one big payday. You do not escape poverty when you earn more once. You escape when your money finally has a direction. If it were you, exhausted after a 10-hour shift, would you buy comfort because you deserve one soft night? Or would you buy the skill that might make the next 5 years different? What would you do? 6 months later, you are not rich. You do not have a fancy house or a luxury car. You did not win the lottery. No miracle saved you. But you are different. You no longer panic when rent comes. You no longer drown in bad debt. You no longer spend every day just surviving. 1 year later, you have one solid, valuable skill. 3 years later, your income is no longer tied only to your time. 5 years later, you are not a millionaire, but you are free. Free from the monthly panic, free from being replaced, free from the mental prison of permanent poverty. Tonight, you walk past a small run-down apartment. Through the window, you see someone else sitting on the cold kitchen floor. Cracked phone, $37 in the bank, rent due in 5 days. Same position you were in years ago. He looks defeated, hopeless, trapped. You do not give him money. You do not give him empty motivation. You only give him 3 simple truths. 1. Your empty pockets are not the final sentence. 2. Learn the rules before they use you. 3. Give every dollar a direction. That is all it takes. No luck, no genius, no connections. Just 3 brutal trials, endured one by one. This is your final choice. You can stay in the loop, survive another month, and call it life. Or you can walk through the 3 doors: mindset, strategy, and money habits, and accept the pain of rebuilding yourself. Empty pockets can be temporary. An empty mind can become permanent poverty. This is your final choice. What do you do? Option A: stay in the poverty loop, keep surviving, and never change. Option B: go through all 3 trials, rebuild your mind, strategy, and money habits, and escape poverty forever. This is your final choice. What do you do?